Zula couldn't stop looking at the human admiral as the different representatives got up to leave. The human admiral leaned over to Captain Weir and said something that made her laugh politely. They apparently knew each other, and then he asked for somebody. He only called his boy, and Weir, smiling, told him something that made the admiral turn to look directly at her. She looked down as Vara came over and just walked past. She got up and followed, confused. Her mind was racing. She wanted to talk to Jack, but it would be a few hours before she was free. Grahad was waiting for them in the hallway, and Vara said, "I told her." Zula looked at him with new eyes and silently cursed herself for not noticing it. Why Grahad always had seemed so familiar. She had thought it was the uniform. It was similar to what she remembered from her father. But it wasn't just that, it was so much more, the build, the patterns. She felt like a fool as she bowed to him. "Uncle." He grabbed her shoulder and raised her up. "Niece, you're my blood." Then he hugged her. Took her a few seconds to understand it. She had seen it in movies, and she had seen the nobles celebrating their young becoming adults and being accepted as adult nobles in the family. In the movies, it was always the bastard girl who, in the end, became accepted and no longer a bastard. That was movies, this was real. She struggled to remember if she should say something, but all she could do was cry. Her legs became weak, and then it became black. Grahad immediately picked her up and started to carry her effortlessly to Varus's cabin. "That went rather well. What do you expect? You know how rare this is. Hell, she thought we would kill her." "Kill her? And be haunted by Aether's ghost forever?" "Well, she has watched too many movies. Why did you do it? You know Mum is going to kill you now. You didn't ask her for permission." "Father gave me permission. I am a stand-in for him. You are to bring her home as soon as possible so he can make it official. You know they found Aether's wedding certificate. She isn't even a bastard. That's what he meant by birthright. Did you show her the video to her mum?" "No, that's her right. I promised her not to share it. Hell, I didn't even look at it." "Wait, have you?" Grahad smiled and put Zula down. "Zula after grandmother, and it never clicked. Even after I knew about her." "Well, it's a common name for people who wants to give their kids a noble name-sounding name. Zula Pentdragon. She must be looking down at us and laughing her ass off." Grahad found a bottle and poured himself a drink as he looked out the window. "So, are you ready for this war? The intel says they have been building up for years. Apparently, we missed a few colonies and they have spent the time to build up a fleet. That's why we attack first. We need intel so we can know where those colonies are. I hope these humans can get it. They will. It's strange, but have no fear when they have a mission to fulfill. They will be willing to die to gain that intel, and some of them will most definitely die for it. Maybe even her beloved Jack. She is still. Oh, she is awaking." Zula sat up and saw Grahad and lowered her eyes. "I'm sorry, sir. I didn't mean to faint. I think I imagined something very silly." Grahad smirked. "That I made you an official Pentdragon." "Lady Zula?" Zula just stared at her as Vara shook her head. "Come on. Don't give her a heart attack." "Lady Zula? But, my gods." Zula stood up and started to walk around. Then she grabbed Grahad's drink from his hand and downed it, just to realize what she had done, and he just chuckled. "Need another one?" Zula just nodded. Jack was in the weapons workshop working on Rico's mech when the door opened, and Admiral Connor MacLeod walked in. Every stopped and looked at him. Everybody except Jack, who barely glanced at him as he continued to work. "And GW Auto Grenade Launcher? Where did you guys get hold of that one?" "Don't know and don't care. I'm not in the Navy anymore." The Admiral was next to him now. "That modification is clearly not legal. Rapid, have you made this thing? 50 per second. Still too slow." He turned to the Admiral. "Gray hair? That's new. I'm getting old, son. Why are you here?" The Admiral looked around the workshop and back to his son. "You should be a captain of your own ship now. There's still bugs out there to kill. I don't have time for pissing up VIPs back and dine at political dinners. I have a job to do." "No, you don't. It's not a job for you. This quest for revenge must end. It was not your fault, and you cannot kill all the bugs in the whole universe. So I'm supposed to forget what those damn bugs did to Mum and Siri? My own twin. I saw them died. No, I am not finished, not until I exterminate all those damn bugs. Besides, I'm saving life here. Don't worry about me. You have 3 other children and some grandchildren, I heard. You damn fool. You think I want to see you throw your life away like this? One of these days they are going to kill you in some God-forgotten place and your family won't know about it. Your nieces and nephews have never met you. Jack just looked at him. Was that all, sir? I have more work to do. You're wasting your talent here, playing engineer. Don't they know what you are? The Admiral turned to the nearest colleague, Vasquez. What did he tell you about his background? Do you know what he actually is? He's a damn good colleague that saved my life many times. That's all I need to know. She met his eyes, thought she was getting curious as to what the Admiral was going to say. Yeah, he is a great solider. My son is a first lieutenant Army Ranger with engineer masters. Top of his class. He even got several medals for bravery in combat. But instead of rise in rank, he decided to hunt bugs. And he is damn good at it. Sir. The Admiral looked at her, then back at Jack. We are not finished, son. You're going home even if I must drag you home. With that he turned and left. Jack looked after him and then turned back to the mech he was working. Vasquez chuckled. So Army, eh? A Marine. 675th Corps. Started in 75th Rangers and worked myself into others groups after. Anyway, not important now. Fuck. You're Delta. Jack didn't answer but continued to work.